Welcome to Eternal Philosophies. What if I told you a simple book of 12 rules could reshape your experience of life, responsibility, and the pursuit of meaning? That millions around the world have found direction not in comfort, but in philosophical principles that combine ancient wisdom and modern psychology. Today we're diving into Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life, an antidote to chaos. Peterson's work blends clinical depth, mythological resonance, and practical advice, making it much more than self-help. Let's explore not just the rules, but the deeper philosophical analysis and global concepts connected to each one. The philosophy behind the rules. Peterson's central insight: life is suffering, yet meaning is found at the intersection of order and chaos. While Western thinking often treats suffering as a problem to be solved, Peterson invites us to embrace meaning as the response. We'll see that similar ideas echo across global philosophical traditions. The 12 Rules. Rule 1. Stand up straight with your shoulders back. This rule transcends mere posture. It's about claiming your rightful place in existence and asserting dignity in the face of adversity. Peterson connects this with dominance hierarchies throughout the animal kingdom, but philosophically, it goes deeper. Your physical stance declares your willingness to bear life's weight, rather than collapse under it. This connects to the Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, preparing for hardship while maintaining dignity. Marcus Aurelius wrote about bearing life's weight with shoulders squared against fate. The Stoics understood that physical posture creates what neuroscience calls embodied cognition. Your stance literally changes brain chemistry, flooding your system with confidence-building neurochemicals. Rule 2. Treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. Here's humanity's strangest contradiction. We'll drive across town at midnight to help a friend, yet won't establish basic sleep schedules for ourselves. We forgive others while maintaining ruthless self-criticism. This rule exposes our misguided self-sacrifice that actually undermines our capacity to serve others. The Buddhist practice of metta, loving-kindness meditation, begins deliberately, with extending compassion toward oneself. The progression moves from yourself to loved ones, neutral people, difficult people, then all beings. This isn't self-indulgence. Authentic compassion flows from a filled rather than empty cup. The Stoics called this oikeiosis, natural care that begins with proper self-regard and extends outward. Rule 3. Make friends with people who want the best for you. True friendship involves mutual flourishing, relationships where both parties celebrate each other's growth, even when facing uncomfortable truths. Peterson challenges our culture's tendency to confuse enabling with love and jealousy with care. This connects to Alfred Adler's Gemeinschaftsgefühl, community feeling where genuine mental health flows from supportive relationships. Adler believed all human joys and hardships stem from our interactions, making relationship quality the primary determinant of well-being. This means choosing friends who practice Aristotelian philia, friendship based on virtue rather than utility or pleasure. Rule 4. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. This addresses perhaps the greatest source of modern suffering, the endless comparison trap that social media has amplified. The philosophical insight goes beyond self-help. It's about recognizing the fundamental uniqueness of each person's path through existence. The Japanese concepts of ikigai and ubaitori embody this wisdom. Ikigai represents your unique contribution, the intersection of what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. Ubaitori uses 4 spring trees as metaphor: cherry, apricot, peach, and plum, each bloom differently. Comparing yourself to others is like expecting an apricot tree to produce cherries. It violates your fundamental nature. Rule 5. Do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. This confronts parenting's most uncomfortable truth. Discipline is love, not oppression. Children who never learn boundaries don't become free. They become incapable of functioning in a world that will inevitably impose limits. Peterson argues that failing to teach self-regulation is neglect disguised as kindness. This reflects Aristotle's paideia, education that forms character through deliberate virtue cultivation. The Confucian junzi, that means exemplary person, embodies virtue through disciplined cultivation rather than natural talent. Ancient cultures understood that character formation requires external structure that eventually becomes internalized wisdom. Rule 6. Set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. Peterson addresses our tendency to blame external circumstances for personal suffering. Before pointing fingers at societal problems, we must examine our own role through choices, habits, and negligence. This isn't about perfection. It's about taking radical responsibility for your sphere of influence. Your house represents everything immediate: your room, relationships, routines, character. This rule embodies Gandhi's satyagraha, or truth force. Before challenging British imperialism, Gandhi perfected personal discipline through fasting, spinning cloth, studying texts, cultivating truthfulness. His political revolution emerged from spiritual revolution. Satyagraha means holding firmly to truth, but you cannot hold truth in the world until you hold it in your own life. Rule 7. Pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. Peterson presents this as perhaps his most crucial rule. He distinguishes expedient choices, immediate gratification, avoiding short-term pain, from meaningful choices, requiring sacrifice now, creating lasting value. Expedient actions stem from primitive survival instincts that prove counterproductive in modern life. Pursuing meaning develops strength to withstand life's inevitable suffering and injustices. This connects to Viktor Frankl's will to meaning. Meaning, not pleasure, sustains us through suffering. Frankl developed this insight while in camps, observing that those who tried to find meaning in suffering were more likely to survive. Logotherapy identifies 3 meaning sources: creative values, experiential values, and attitudinal values, choosing how to respond to unavoidable suffering. Rule 8. Tell the truth, or at least don't lie. Peterson changed this from simply tell the truth because that implies you actually know truth, impossible given human limitation. This version acknowledges epistemological humility while demanding honesty. Peterson identifies 2 lying types. First, lying to others for gain, and second, the deeper problem of lying to ourselves about what we want and believe. Habitual inauthenticity makes us tools to be used, obliterating independence. Truth-telling connects to Greek aletheia, literally uncovering what is hidden. Socrates built his method on exposing false beliefs through honest questioning. In Hindu philosophy, satya, truthfulness, is a fundamental ethical principle. The compound effect of small lies creates what existentialists call bad faith, systematic self-deception that traps the deceiver. Rule 9. Assume the person you are listening to might know something you don't. Peterson frames this around conversational humility, recognizing people often think out loud through talking. Many organize thoughts through conversation rather than internal reflection, requiring patient listeners who allow speakers to formulate problems clearly. Peterson critiques our tendency to wait for our turn to speak rather than genuinely listening, which robs both parties of mutual discovery. This embodies Socratic intellectual humility, recognizing our knowledge is always partial and flawed. Socrates' "I know that I know nothing" expressed genuine wisdom about human understanding limits. Every person has lived experiences, faced challenges, learned lessons you haven't. Rule 10. Be precise in your speech. Peterson argues imprecise language reflects imprecise thinking, leading to imprecise action and ultimately chaos. We often avoid defining problems clearly because it's easier to live with vague unease than confront the sharp pain of specificity. But Peterson insists specificity turns chaos into something you can deal with. When you can't articulate what's wrong, you can't address it effectively. In Kabbalah, language is creation's raw material. To name is to create reflects understanding that words are reality's building blocks. When we speak precisely, we align with the universe's creative force. Imprecise language doesn't just reflect confused thinking, it creates confused reality. The therapeutic principle of affect labeling shows precise emotional vocabulary literally calms the nervous system. Rule 11. Do not bother children when they are skateboarding. Peterson uses skateboarding as metaphor for voluntary risk-taking that builds competence and confidence. Children's primary drive isn't safety but competence, which makes people as safe as they can truly be. Peterson criticizes overprotection, noting that removing reasonable risks often leads children to seek more dangerous alternatives. Humans are hardwired for risk levels, and without appropriate challenges, we become careless and unprepared. This represents anti-fragility, systems growing stronger from stress. The Nordic Friluftsliv, outdoor life, involves calculated risks building competence and confidence. Overprotection creates psychological fragility, individuals lacking confidence in handling life's difficulties. True love sometimes means allowing others to struggle and grow through manageable challenges. Rule 12. Pet a cat when you encounter one on the street. This embodies mindfulness, presence to simple beauty amid life's overwhelming complexity. It's about recognizing grace in small moments when existence feels unbearable. The Japanese mono no aware, awareness of impermanence, teaches appreciation of fleeting beauty precisely because it won't last. This also connects with the Stoic memento mori, remembering we will die. Rather than creating morbidity, death awareness enhances present gratitude. These moments of connection don't solve problems, but remind us why existence is worth the struggle. Why these rules matter today. In our age of material abundance yet existential confusion, these rules offer what ancient philosophers called practical wisdom, principles that work across cultures and centuries. Peterson's genius lies in connecting timeless insights with contemporary, psychological research. The rules address what sociologists call anomie, the rootlessness and meaninglessness that characterizes modern life. By grounding personal responsibility in philosophical tradition, they offer secular paths to meaning that don't require abandoning scientific thinking. These 12 rules represent more than self-help. They're invitations to philosophical living. Each connects to wisdom traditions that have guided human flourishing across cultures and millennia. The question becomes, which ancient wisdom will you embody in your modern life? Share your thoughts below, and please like, share, and subscribe to Eternal Philosophies. Until next time.